Hi everyone, my name is Shritpal Jain. I am chartered accountant and a licensed CPA and one of the co-founders for Samandar Education. Today we have none other than one of our special alumni, which is Dheeraj, and he is a qualified USCMA. We placed him recently at HP as a course trainee. As per our vision of changing lives for better, so we have changed one more lives of our students, and we thought that now practically we should start taking interviews with all of them so that they can share what their experiences and what their study strategies were and how did they change their life from BCom to HP road, right? So Dheeraj, first of all, welcome to Samandar Education. How's the feeling?
Yeah, I'm very glad to be the part of this podcast here.
Thank you, Dheeraj. So how's the feeling of getting a job at HP and all? So how are you feeling now?
So, from the time I know CMA, I used to dream for going into the FP&A department. So, I'm very much happy that I have gone into the FP&A department now as a cost trainee. So, it's a very great feeling, I could say.
Thank you, Dheeraj. So Dheeraj, I know there are a lot of questions for people who are watching this, and especially BCom students. So you were also BCom student like them. So why did you select USCMA? Because there are so many career options. You have ACCA, you have CPA, you have EA, you have CIMA and all. So why USCMA?
Choosing CMA, this field doesn't go down anytime because when you take any type of industries, factories all over the world, like they all need the CMA. So I thought CMA would be the perfect choice when you want to get into the companies or any type of corporate world.
Okay. So, and who motivated you? Did you do your own research for USCMA or did you see any of the ads? So how did you sign up with Samandar?
So I used to have this interest, and then I came to know about Simandar through online, and then we had a talk. Simandar guys explained me the course. I mean, they all cleared my queries properly. So then I came forward to Simandar, have joined here.
And so when you started CMA, you were BCom, you were pursuing BCom or you completed graduation?
I was pursuing BCom that time when I have joined with the.
From which college you were pursuing your graduation?
So I was from Andhra University in Visakhapatnam.
And that was a distance BCom or full-time?
No, I was a full-time student.
Full-time student. And so how many hours you used to study for CMA?
So initially, I don't know the strategy, so I used to study only 2 to 3 hours. But only after that time, I started like it went on like 4 to 5 hours a day. Then in the exam peak hours, I used to study like 7 to 8 hours.
7 to
8 hours.
So how many months it took for you to complete CMA qualification?
So for the part 2, I took 1 year honestly. Then for part 1, I had quickly done it like 4 months or 5 months.
So 1.5 year you finished.
Yeah.
But why did part 2 took 1 year for you?
So I need to understand what's the exam pattern, like how the exam looks like and how we need to come through the concept. Like people would be thinking MCQs would be like we need to keep it normally like a normal exam, but no, we need to learn them. We need to have a great amount of practice so that then we can move forward. So knowing all this, I took some time for the part 2.
Okay. So guys, in CMA, we have part 2 and part 1. So which is Becker's study material, which technically students follow. So why did you select part 2, Dheeraj? So why not part 1?
So part 2 actually this syllabus look actually very little actually, but we need to work on.
So that's the thing, right? In India, they see the study material. So if you see the material, guys, of part 2, it's a very smaller book, and part 1 is little bigger material. So the same strategy Dheeraj have applied है part 2 का material छोटा है, तो it might be an easy exam to crack. So part 2 you have started like that. So which topics you felt little tough, Dheeraj, in part 2? Because I can see financial statement analysis, corporate finance, capital budgeting, business decision, and then professional ethics.
So I felt corporate finance is the most tough one because.
Why did you feel corporate finance is tough?
So in corporate finance there are many subtopics, but each topic changed from one thing to another thing. So we need to learn everything because none of the concepts were interconnected.
Related.
Yeah. So we need to learn everything from starting. Like for every topic we need to start from scratch, that point of view. So it made somehow difficult for corporate finance. So I need to keep more time on the corporate finance in order to learn it.
And did you find the weightage of corporate finance more? I know we can't disclose as per IMA any exam related questions or weightages, but did you see that corporate finance was also
Obviously I have seen the corporate finance more weightage.
Okay, that's it. We cannot go more into detail because as per the IMA disclosure policy, we cannot do any of these things. One thing I wanted to understand, what was your study strategy for part 2? How many hours you used to study for part 2? Like you said, you took a year because you were a BCom student. So you started off in BCom first year, second year or final year?
So I have took it in BCom final year.
So final year you took because you are the BCom exam, so you used to study 2 hours, 3 hours, and
Yeah.
try to finish it off. So it took almost a year for you.
Even in the sixth semester, I used to have some internship in my university. So I need to manage both of things actually.
Okay.
On one side, I need to manage the BCom internship, and on other hand, I need to manage the CMA. So
Okay.
it took some time for me.
Okay. And what was your study strategy for part two? So you started off with normal modules, or did you change like first chapter? So did you start off straight away with financial statement analysis, or did you?
Yeah, I started with financial statement analysis,
Okay.
and then I went into corporate finance. So it took a lot of time. And then I went through this decision analysis, capital budgeting, ethics, and risk analysis.
And did you find ethics a little boring, or what was it?
Obviously, the ethics chapter was boring, but we need to learn the ethics because when you're entering the corporate world, I may expect you to learn the ethics.
And what was your study strategy for part two? How many hours you used to study for part two? Like you said, you took a year because you were a BCom student. So you started off in BCom first year, second year, or final year?
So I have took it in BCom final year.
So final year you took for because you have the BCom exam, so you used to study 2 hours, 3 hours, and then try to finish it off. So it took almost a year for you.
Even in the sixth semester, I used to have some internship in my university. So to manage both of things, like
Okay.
on one side, I need to manage the BCom internship, and on other hand, I need to manage the CMA. So
Okay.
it took some time for me.
Okay. And what was your study strategy for part two? So you started off with normal modules, or did you change like first chapter? So did you start off straight away with financial statement analysis, or did you
Yeah.
shuffle?
Yeah. So I started with financial statement analysis.
Okay.
And then I went into corporate finance. So it took a lot of time. And then I went through this decision analysis, capital budgeting, ethics, and risk analysis.
And did you find ethics a little boring, or what was it?
Obviously, the ethics chapter was boring, but you to learn the ethics.
Very nice. Very nice. So what was your study strategy? So like you started off with MCQ or lectures first, MCQ, then essays, or how was it?
So first I used to see these type of lectures from Sunandev portal, I mean the Pekka. And then I used to go through the material. I mean, I used to read the material and then I used to come back to the MCQs. Used to solve it. I need to know my mistakes. And yeah, I need to work on them again. I need to give the same test again.
And then you used to note down also what all MCQs you used to get wrong, or what is it?
Yeah, like see, for example, if I choose an option, but that one is particularly wrong and the other option was correct, and you is to know the reason why this is wrong and that's
You used to deep dive on why the options are correct and even incorrect, both. That's a very useful advice for people who are preparing for the USCMA exam. It's very important to know why the option is right and why the option is wrong. In fact, all the option, because we have a habit of saying that this is the correct option, then we don't go and deep analyze why the other three options were incorrect. And so that is a good strategy which you tell. And what about essays? What was your strategy for cracking essays?
so. SS is something like when you compare with the MCQs, SS are not like very much complex. Okay, they directly ask you, but in the essays, you need to write those type of essays of 12 to 13 questions in just 1 hour. So further, it's not about like how you need to practice, but it's about the strategy, how you're going to fill the information in the essays. So I would suggest every student to go through the bullet points properly. You need to have some practice with the typing, and you need to manage the time. And I would say give 5 minutes for every type of question, so you would be completing this essay portion before 60 minutes in the exam.
So how did you plan during the exam day? Like, so exam is of how many hours and how many questions are there in MCQ and how many essays?
So when I have written the part one in recently the June 2025, I have gone to the exam for the morning session actually. So there are 100 MCQs. Obviously, we need to get corrected with the 50 MCQs in order to get the essay portion open.
So if you want your essays to be open, guys, at least 50% of the MCQ should be right.
Yeah. So and also MCQs need to be done on time. You cannot take more time.
So how much time did you took to complete MCQ?
So to say, I have done with the MCQs within 2 or 40 minutes, but I need to go with the analysis whether I can submit the
Okay.
exam. So I've been waiting for that and then submitted. Then I have gone to my essays.
So essays, how much time did you took?
Essays I took 55 minutes.
So almost an hour. So it's almost a 4-hour exam.
Yeah.
Technically. And then they give you a break and all, or how's it?
No, there won't be any break. It's a full 4-hour exam.
So you cannot even go out.
Yeah, but even if you go out, the time would be counting.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a prometric exam, guys. It's not a pen pencil exam. You need to go to a prometric test center. So where was your prometric test center? You came to
I came to Hyderabad actually.
Awesome. So this is at Gachibowli.
Yeah. You know also this.
Yes, yes, yes. So at Kapil Towers, Gachibowli wrote the exam. And what are the things you carried during the exam day? You need a passport mandatory or it's not a point?
Like it can be passport or any government ID. It's fine. I took passport because I have it.
Okay.
You can carry Aadhaar or license or any type of PAN card.
But two proofs should be there or one is sufficient?
If you're carrying any type of ID cards, you need two. But if you're carrying passport, it's fine.
Only passport is sufficient. That's a very useful information, mate.
Yeah.
And do they give calculators at the center or you yourself
Yeah.
have to bring?
They do give the calculators. I mean, when you go to the exam, they doesn't. They don't want you to keep anything with you, so they just give you one paper and pencil. So if you want, they will give you the calculator. But I would suggest take your own calculator.
So we are allowed to take, but we are not allowed to take scientific calculator.
Yeah, obviously.
So that is a Casio's normal calci which you can take and all those stuff. So and do they give water bottle and all?
Yeah, everything. I mean, they would facilitate you. They would make you comfort. They would make you feel comfort.
Okay. And as you know, like Samundar is one of the platinum partners of IMA. So you have got that exam discount of 30 to 40%
Yeah.
on exam fees. So when do you suggest people to register for the IMA? Because a lot of them don't register with IMA and IMA has been complaining about that. What do you think is the best practice for students to register for IMA? And just for everyone, IMA is a body which conducts the CMA examination, right? So it's the Institute of Management Accountants, like we have for Chartered Accountancy, ICI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Like that we have for IMA. So when do you think that they should apply for registration and how is the breakup of this entire registration, certification?
Yeah.
What is this? Can you please explain to the people?
So I would say you need to register as fast as possible because that make you seriously study for the course. So registering with that, you need to pay for that.
So what are this breakup? What is registration fee? What is certification fee? What is exam fee? What are this entire thing? Would you want to explain?
Yeah, registration fee would be like you, in order to register to the IMA that you want to apply for the CMA exams, you need to firstly register you need to say your particulars, your name, what you're doing, whether you're a graduate. There are two categories here again, student category and professional category. So professional category is someone who is not a graduate, who is not studying full time and currently working or not. And when it comes to student category, it's like a person who is studying his bachelor's or master's. So the fee would be varying. The professional would be having a higher fee and the bachelor would be having a lower fee. The student category. So once you're done with the registration, when the exam is nearing, in order to book your exam, you need to go to the IMA portal. You need to pay the fee. And then you need to book your exam.
And apply the Simandar discount code. So when you're from Simandar, guys, you get some exam discount. So if you register for CMA exam on your own, you don't have any discounts. But if you are registering with Simandar, you have a 30 to 40% discount on your exam fees. So that's why it's very important to register with Simandar. Okay. Yeah. And then what is the certificate fees?
Certificate fee and all, once you're done with this exam fees and all, you need to pay it at the end,
Okay. Okay. So now having said that, so the strategy would be how many times should I study this material? So is it one time, two time, or how many times you recommend revision?
So firstly, in order to know the concept what it is, you need to study once, go through the questions so that you would be having more doubts rising in your mind, so that you need to spend more time on it again. And I would say go through 4 revisions before.
So 4 rounds of revision is mandatory, folks. Whether we for part 1 and part 2 both.
Yeah.
Part 1 would be little higher.
So I would say it depends from person to person. Even some person may feel part 2 is more, part 1 is more easy than part 2. So that's why I said it rounded figure like 4 times.
Part 2 you said corporate finance. Part 1, what is the toughest chapter and why? Like what are the 2 difficult topics which you have seen in part 1?
So for part 1, I would say external financial reporting because it's so vast in the topic.
Okay. And other than after external financial reporting, anything which you felt like, sir, this might be one of the difficult things what I've seen?
So for the budgeting and all, this is the core area you're going to work when you're qualified with the CMA. So that make you confused, but it's very much practical, so you can learn it very easily. That's
okay. So planning, budgeting, cost management, and technology and analytics. Do you want to speak on technology as such?
Yes. So every student here who want to study in accounting and finance would be having a common doubt that why we need to study IT and internal controls. So, guys, but when you're moving into the corporate world, it's you and the IT people combinedly would be working and designing the software, because every company would be having their own software. So for that, you need to know the department and know its pros and cons and what are the type of threats it would be having. You need to say how an system need to be designed, and the IT team would be go on with the coding part. So every accountant need to know about this. That's why I have included this in the curriculum of 2020.
Okay. So one thing, Dheeraj, is after passing and all, so how did you prepare for HP? See, as an institute, we can just give opportunities, but
Yeah.
cracking the interviews, absolutely, we do make people ready for the interview. But what are the things which you did it differently to crack the interview?
So when you go for the interviews, this is like HP exclusively hired for the CMS, for the FP&A. So they would be testing you practically in the interview. Like they would be asking how you do this, how are you going to do that. Like actually hiring you, they expect you to do the things. I mean, like how you're going to work. They need you to answer on the same things. So you need to be prepared with that. I mean, you need to apply the knowledge what you have learned in the both parts when you're doing the CMA.
And what would be so do they see even the communication skills and all, or it's like,
Yeah, guys, you need to be very much improved with your communication skills. Obviously, you would be good with your communication skills at the end of the CMA program. You'll be done.
okay, awesome. So I think, Dheeraj, one thing which we have noticed among a lot of the students was the anxiety whether they'll get a job or not post CMA.
Yeah.
Though Samandar keeps placing the students and all, but what is one piece of advice would you want to give to the people who are not enrolled with Samandar but they're pursuing for CMA? So what would be the advice for them and even for the Samandar students also?
Yeah. So, guys, it's like not only the qualification, but you need a proper platform in order to reach out for the companies or opportunities. So, I would say Simandar is perfectly the platform which make you get the deserved opportunities. Like even if you're a CMA, but companies doesn't know that you're a CMA, that you're a qualified professional. So, I would say you need a good platform or good guidance on how you need to reach out for all these things.
Thank you, Dheeraj. So, Dheeraj, who was your favorite faculty in CMA from Samandar? Was it, so I don't want to name, but anyone who touched like, sir, this is something which I really felt out of the box when I was watching their lectures.
I would say like Geetanjali ma'am used to clear our doubts even when the ongoing sessions for the online classes. So I would say like the faculty were.
Okay, so Gitanjali, you're watching this. So your student have praised you a lot. So thank you so much, Dheeraj. It was great having you all. First of all, people who are watching us, I think this is one of the fantastic qualifications. USCMA 2-paper exam can be completed in less than a year, but we have a student who's also in the BCom final year can pursue CMA in less than 1.5 years is a great achievement in itself. And getting a job at HP is no small feat, right? So we always give Changing Lives a unique classroom book story. This is a unique story of a student who was pursuing graduation, completed CMA, got a job. This is a classical example of changing lives for better with 1 million changing lives as our vision. So Dheeraj is one of our examples. Thank you, Dheeraj. And this is one of our book, The Unique Classroom. Okay. Thank you so much, Dheeraj. It was lovely having you. And this is one of our trophies as well for Dheeraj, who have completed the CMA qualification from Samandar Education. So congratulations, Dheeraj. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you everyone for watching. That's all from Samandar Education. We'll all set for another alumni very soon. Thank you so much.